I was your typical 18-year-old falling in love with her fiance girl. I got married when I was 18, and I decided it was the only time that I was ever going to get married. Thankfully, I had a fiance who was about to become my husband who believed the same exact thing. We were only going to do this one time, and we were going to have God to help us. My husband was in the military, and I gave up everything right after high school so that I could just follow him because I was so madly in love. So I followed him around the world, and we came to this little town in Beaufort, South Carolina, and we were invited to a church. And there was a lady there by the name of Cherie Zach who invited me to her marriage class. It's called the Imperfect Wives. She was starting up a group in our local church, and she wanted me to be a part. And I said, sure, why not? Because, marriage was a big thing to me. I was going to do this one time, and we were going to get it right. And so I took these classes. And Cherie had taught us about love and God's design for marriage and how to fight for that marriage. And this was back in 2010. And then we moved, and I thought, oh, I was never going to need that class. And then I did. In July of 2014, my whole life changed because of something my husband did. My husband had had an affair, and I found out a year after that he did. And my whole world was shattered by the one person who I thought would never break my heart, and he did. He broke it worse than anyone. But I knew in that moment when I found out it wasn't over. And I told him to come home when he asked me if he could. And I began the process of fighting for my marriage. It was hard, and everything in me just wanted to scream and to fight and to yell and to leave. Except I remembered Cherie's teachings. I remembered what she had taught me to fight for my marriage, to get down on my knees and pray. And I did, daily. And we worked out our problems. I went through Cherie's boot camp class with her when I had told her what had happened. I reached out to her and I was told her, and she said, let's take this class. And I did. And her boot camp class changed my life. The teachings where I dug into the Word changed my life. It changed the way I saw my marriage. My marriage was more than just me and my husband. My marriage was God. It was a covenant that was designed by God to glorify God. And so I thank Cherie. I thank her from the bottom of my heart that she was there in the exact moment before I even knew her, before I needed her. God knew, and He sent her to me. And she became one of my greatest friends. And she taught me so much about how to fight. And she gave me this passion for marriage that I can now take into the world, and I can show everyone, hey, this is not just a fly by the seat of your pants, let's do this kind of thing. Marriage was designed to be a mirror image of God and His intimacy that He has with man, what He wants us to be like with Him. So I can only give God the glory for the restoration in my marriage, and I can only thank Cherie for being a tool that was used in restoring my marriage. And I'm proud to say that after 13 years of marriage, we are the happiest we've ever been. And we are more in love today than we were when we were lustful teenagers who thought we can conquer the world if we just have love. Because now we know we can conquer the world when we have God.